that's a trail fix that you can keep on wheeling on for a long time. All right, so I'm standing here with John, and John brought us this axle shaft in. He broke it on the trail and had to weld it back together to get out of the trail. So this is our new axle shaft we had made for him, from Dutchman, 4340 chromoly, forged Spicer 760 U-joint with full circle clips, so he's good to go. But what we really want to look at is how you fix this on the trail, John. So zoom in on this right here. So explain to me, John, what do we do right there?
Basically, what happened is I was driving along. The clip must have fell out, lost the cap, and it broke off this yoke, or the axle shaft.
So it broke the ear right off.
It broke the ear completely off.
Yeah, yeah.
So what we did is we took an 1/8 wrench.
So right here, this outer circle, if you look at that, zoom in real quick. So see, there's a little chrome on there still.
Yeah.
That outer circle is 1/8
is a wrench.
Yeah. You know, the box end of it.
Yeah, that the
your 12 point
thing will fit through, and then we cut the wrench off. And then we put this back together with a new U-joint, and we welded the whole thing up on the trail.
So you welded the wrench onto here, and then the U-joint cap right to the wrench.
It also, yes.
And I mean, this thing, if you twist this, it feels factory. It feels like a brand new U-joint put back together.
Yeah, it was a pretty good trail
to
fix.
Me, that's a trail fix that you can keep on wheeling on for a long time, you know?
Well, it's going to make a dandy spare.
It's going to make a great spare. So, you know, that's what it takes on the trail to get it done.
But also, with this, I'm not going to need that spare, baby. Look at that.
All right.
Thank you, Trevor, very much.
That right there is a really good trail fix when your steering box breaks off in the middle of the Rubicon. Is it in there broken too, all the way across the top? Oh yeah, all the way across the top of the bracket.
So lately the theme here seems to be steering components aggressively making themselves not part of the frame anymore. And in this case we have a TJ steering box mount. So that's the factory mount. Not a bad trail fix. They welded a PSC tab on there with probably a bun welder from the look of the welds. And it held it to get it in here, but the backside was pretty ripped off and she was ready to go. So I just designed this, just a bunch of 1/4-inch plate, pretty much mimics what was on there, a little tougher. And I'm gonna get that burned on there and this guy won't have steering problems again for a long time.
Oh my God. Whoa. Well, it looks like we got another case of the Mondays here. Oh my Lord. There's more than one way to skin a cat, I guess. I believe it hasn't even spit him out yet. Unacceptable. So we're working on this XJ, and this is not okay, people. When you can see daylight between your leaf springs, your U-bolts are not tight enough. Now when you come over here and you look, these are pieces of plastic jammed in there for shims. Please go to our website, buy our steel shims if you're running XJ and trying to set it up for a better driveline angle. That is unacceptable. That center pin, if it's not broken, is gonna break right away. U-bolt's not even close to tight. Both sides, I can't believe it hasn't even spit them out yet. Unacceptable. Oh boy. And that completely broke off. Well, it's Monday morning and look what the cat drug in. Another case of the Mondays. Big time, huh, Andrew? What do we got going?
Yeah, this is, today we're seeing why you should have a track bar brace when you start putting bigger axles under these things, because that factory track bar bracket did not like whatever George was doing to it.
So pop that thing down. This is George's JK on 110s and 40s, and it had the factory track bar brace. You got some sort of ratchet strap action going here. Oh boy.
Smoked the strap too.
That bracket goes up on the frame right about here, and that completely broke off. And when that happens, your axle just goes side to side and you got no steering, but they managed to throw a ratchet strap on it and get it out of the trail. So now we're gonna put our JK track bar repair kit on here, which is a full cut and weld. But the idea is, before this happens to you, buy the track bar brace that goes over the top of the original one. We don't have one for a JK, but we got one for a JL, and we got the repair kit for a JK.
Look at the high pressure line when I pulled it away.
What in the hell is that? Doug, what is this?
We had a like low power steering complaint on this Jeep here, so we're gonna put some PSE goodies on there and found this high pressure
What
line.
in the hell is that? The liner of the high pressure line.
It looked like it melted and tried to go inside the box, and I can't get that out. So
That would definitely affect your power steering. Right? Well, here it is out of the Jeep. Big bore box installed. PSC the rescue. That is a piece of plastic wedged down in there. We're gonna log this in our memory. When your pump starts squealing, you're overheating, your steering stops working, check for the inner liner, see if it's wedged into your steering box. Let's see if we can actually get this thing out of here. And there it is. So who knows if we got all of it. Probably would not be smart to still run this box, but that is your inner liner of one of your high pressure hoses, and that was the root of all evil on this one. He avoided shearing the sector shaft like everybody else does, but I suggest every JK owner put a big bore box in their Jeep. Check that next time you got a problem. Now you know why PSC includes all new lines in their big bore kit. All the gears broken. That is the carrier bearing race, completely shattered. All of the teeth, basically, the ends broken off, chipped, ruined. Well, it looks like another case of the Mondays over here in the WFO Gear and Axle shop. And today we're actually using our new Hunter 4-post drive-on lift and alignment rack. And we got the extended lift that goes 18,000 pounds. And this F550 four-door extra long bed, 17,500 pounds, fits on the lift, lifted it right up, and this is why we got it. Unfortunately, this is what we got going on. Look at that carrier. That is the carrier bearing race, completely shattered. As you can see, new gears just finished going in, new carrier, all new bearings. Did it right here on the drive-on rack. A little tight getting in on the back of the rack there, but worked out. But this is what we had in there. So look at that. All the gears broken, the top of them. The pinion ran in, hit the carrier, destroyed the carrier. And then here's the pinion right in front of us. So all of the teeth, basically, the ends broken off, chipped, ruined. Bearings came apart. So you ask yourself, first off, what size is this diff? This is a M300 from Dana. Surprisingly not, it's not a dropout third member. It's a traditional style rear end where the carrier goes in the back, the pinion goes in the front. A lot of weight in this truck, drives every day. You ask, okay, what made it do this? Did the gears just fail? Absolutely not. So basically, over time, vibration, driving, the pinion nut that goes right on the end of the pinion that preloads the pinion and holds it tight, worked its way loose. When Doobie went to take it apart, it literally had like 3 threads left on it. So something vibrated the pinion nut loose, it came loose. That allowed the pinion to move inside the housing and drove itself in and right into the carrier, and that's when catastrophic failure happened. So maybe something that could have been caught with some maintenance, but it's kind of just an item that sometimes they come loose. So got to use the new lift here, and Doobie got the job done. Parts came right away, and he'll be back at work servicing other vehicles in a minute. Simple case of the Mondays. What's for Tuesday?